Here we go. I have found it.
Okay, good. Off you go.
Good.
I can see that.
Really?
You can see that, but hang on, let me get it from the beginning. Okay. So we're going to start off in St. Lucia,
Really?
which and we're going to start off with Cat Maison. You know what? Tina's
yeah.
not muted. Well, you can, I think you can mute her.
I muted her.
So I'm going to start off in St. Lucia, Cat Maison. So Cat Maison is called Cat Maison because it's their home in the Cap estate. It's owned by one family, and the Gobot family, and it's only 50 rooms. We've done some, and it's very sort of, it's great for girlfriend getaways. It's great for a romantic trip. It's great for weddings. It's great for buyouts. And Teresa, I know that you told me your focus today is really on singles traveling together
And couples.
and couples traveling together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've actually done some women's groups as well, who've come down and done like wellness retreats and taken over. So, and what's kind of cool about this is sort of Spanish Mediterranean, only 50 rooms, and has very, very good food. It's, if you've got anybody who's really a foodie, it's right perched on this cliff. The restaurant that you see illuminated there is called the Cliff at Cap. And it's obviously sitting on the cliff. And so, and it's at Cat Maison, and the food is absolutely fantastic. And this is their beach. So St. Lucia is not really known for white sand beaches. So this is as white as you get in St. Lucia. But so theirs is like it's on Smuggler's Cove. There are more coves in St. Lucia. And down on that beach is actually a restaurant called the Naked Fisherman. And it's just always gets written up. In fact, I just read something yesterday. It's one of the best beach bars in the Caribbean. And one of the really cool things about our accommodations is that even though we're only 50 rooms, we actually have 19 swimming pools, because we do have many villa suites that have private pools. So they can be on the rooftop or they can be on the ground. And this is our culinary team. The guy in the middle is a white Welsh Rastafarian bodybuilder, and he has been there since Cat Maison opened up. So he likes to use things that are very sort of local at the property, as well as, bring, and he keeps fresh and organic. So, and if you ever have anybody traveling with you that's a vegetarian, he's phenomenal with that. So a restaurant has lots of little coves to it, the Cliff at Cap. So, and this is just an example of some of the food. So we offer it with just breakfast plan, or we can offer it all inclusive. Or if you want to go, which I think is fantastic, to go for all inclusive, you can do all inclusive for 3 nights and then go off it for the last 4 nights and sort of experiment around and see what's in St. Lucia, because on the end of St. Lucia, where Cat Maison is, there are lots of new restaurants. And then this is our fantastic, I don't know why it's going so fast, but that's our fantastic deck down in the water called Rock Maison. And we do lots of very special romantic dinners down there. And then again, our beach, and that's the Naked Fisherman that you see right here is the Naked Fisherman. And we have water sports, and it's really a very cool place. We have a fantastic spa as well, and gym. And as I said, we do, yoga, and we do lots of things for women who want to get away and just have a whole wellness retreat. So we've been doing a lot of work. And so we've of course have been held up, but with the global shortage of things. And so this is just to give you an example of what was coming next month. So we're going to have a whole new look next month, and it's going to be very hacienda kind of, but again, keeping within that sort of family feel and that Cat Maison, the Maison of this is what it's going to be. It already had the real red tile look and felt very Spanish Mediterranean. Now they're going to really capitalize on the sort of hacienda look. It's really looking fantastic. So Teresa really loves this property. It's called Jade Mountain. So whereas Cat Maison's in the north side of the island, Jade Mountain is on the southern part of the island, down by the Pitons. So if you're at Cat Maison, it's about an hour and a half by road, but a lot of people like to do the helicopter to Jade Mountain because the roads are really quite windy. So if you're going to ever go down from the north to the south, I always recommend you go down by boat, because it's much easier to go down by boat because you go as the crow flies. Whereas because St. Lucia is such a volcanic island, you really do have these very windy roads. And I don't typically get car sick, but it's one of the few places where I've sort of said, I better not look at my phone right now because this is not feeling good right now. So anyway, but it's a very dramatic way of getting in. You fall down between the pitons of St. Lucia, and then you come right up to Jade Mountain. So this is Jade Mountain here, which is a sister property to Antiquaste. Jade Mountain is the crowning glory. It is the one that will only take 2 people per room, but they are up in the hills, but they do use the beach at Antiquaste. So they're this sort of intimate 26 rooms, and but they have the whole resort of Antiquaste to use. The beaches, they've got 2 beaches, and so they're able to use all of that. And this is an example of one of the rooms.
And
Go ahead,
Karen, may I
Teresa.
interject? It's very popular, and I plan lots of trips. I would say probably 50% of my clients who do go to the island of St. Lucia will do half of their stay in North St. Lucia, whether it be a Sandals or Cap Maison, and then go down south to Jade Mountain. So it's a nice, and it's so contrast. North St. Lucia is so different than South St. Lucia. South St. Lucia is very isolated and quiet, and lots of rugged mountains and rainforests, and they've got a mineral bath there. So it's a great way to see the entire island, is to split your stay between north and south. And it's a 2-hour drive from north to south. Go ahead.
Yes, and you're right. It's I think that the south is what people think they're going to go to when they go to St. Lucia, because it's the pitons that they see. The topography of St. Lucia is sort of like unlike any other island, really. Probably the closest would be like Jamaica. But this is Jade Mountain. This is just a unique work of art. It's a unique architecture. It's 3 walls. So you come into your sanctuary through one of these bridges like this, and then there's completely open. So, and people say, well, what about bugs? But it's so high. It's like, it's the altitude of it so high. We always say it's above the bug line. So just to give you an idea. And these are the amazing pools so that we have in these great open sanctuaries, and all the fans. And we even have fans inside the bed, so you never feel, overly warm.
And what I like
It is
about this place is the tiles are very metallic and they're different colors. So at night when you're at the restaurant, you can look up to the hill, and each one of the sanctuaries, keep in mind 3 walls, there's no 4th wall. But what I like about this place is you look up at night and you'll see like an orange room and a red room and a blue and a green. It's just so like a rainbow. It's so unique. This place is so unique. It is a must see.
It is. Actually, it's a fiber optic wheel that they have in the pool. And so if they see you, because you have, and I'll come to it, but you do have your butlers, they call them major domos. And so they're like, I think they're looking a little blue today. And they put your fiber optic wheel onto blue. If you feel a little fiery, they might put you on red. It's kind of fun. It's having fun in your vacation. So, and as you come down, these are the Galaxy, the one that you just saw, are the larger pools. But I sometimes like the smaller pools because it's very cozy in the Star Infinity Pool sanctuaries. Still lovely, and gives you an amazing view. I think I've actually stayed in this one. It's really, really spectacular. So they go through Star, Moon, Galaxy, Sun. So you've got all the kind of unusual celestial. So in fact, their deck is called the celestial deck. So this is the Sun Infinity Pool, and they're on the galaxies and the suns are on each end of that structure that you saw. They're just really, really dramatic. So, and this is one of the favorite pastimes. Because we have these major domos, then people spend a lot of time in their room, because I really recommend that you do the all-inclusive. Again, the food is phenomenal, and the major domos bring everything to you as you're swimming around in your pool. And that is your view from the pool and from the celestial terrace I was talking about, where they do a lot of yoga. But if you want to get down to the beach, all you have to do is just call your major domo, and they'll whip you down and in a little cart, and they take you down to the beach, and you can have these very private dinner beach dinners. We also have our own organic garden and our own cocoa farm. So we make our own chocolate. We have our own produce in the gardens. So it's really spectacular. So now I'm going to come out of St. Lucia and into a new hotspot. It really is. I mean, Teresa, I don't know if you've been hearing about Curacao at all, but
Yes.
Curacao, yes. Well, see, what's happened is now Sandals is coming to Curacao, and so that's going to really be. It's going to change the fabric of the island a little bit because it's going to bring in a lot more people, which is going to make the flights easier to get, because it's always been sort of one of those. It's one of the ABC islands: Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, the Dutch islands, and actually, Curacao is the largest of all of them. You would think that Aruba was, but actually Curacao is the largest. So Aruba feels very sort of American Dutch. Bonaire feels very Dutch, and this feels very sort of European Dutch. And it's only 23 rooms, and they are all decorated. I mean, beyond to the nines. They have taken such pride in putting in beautiful, like this is the light fixture right here of all shells, and it was they hand designed it. So, and then just the whole, they want you to feel like when you walk in that you are walking into a magical place. So it feels very Balinese, all the doors, and it all opens up onto their own private, they call it the private lagoon. So just to give you an idea, and actually it's only about 5 minutes. What I love about Curacao and about the location of Baoase, and that's how you pronounce it, Baoase, is that it is, it feels, I mean, I always say it's like St. Bart's in Havana had a baby, because you can go to lots of wonderful restaurants, but there's still that kind of edge to it, that kind of vibe to it that makes it feel very authentic. And so they've got lots of music and art and everything. And so there's this little part of and where Baoase is, you are smack dab in the middle of two great areas. One is Willemstad, the very historical center, which is the capital. And then on the other side is a place called Mambo, and that's kind of like the boardwalk, casual, grab an Indian meal or fish and chips or sushi or, you know, slice of pizza and do a lot of shopping. And they're 5 minutes on either side of Baoase. So we do a lot of girls trips here because it's very safe. Everybody feels very safe. And it's a very safe beach as well. So this just gives you an idea of their lagoon. Actually, the owner built this island. It's called BB Island. The B, it's called Baoase. The B is for BB. The A is for Adrian. That's the couple. And he built her this island, and it's called BB Island. And he built it so it would create a breakwater so that it created the beach. It's really pretty fantastic. So it's not as difficult to get to any longer. We do have nonstops out of Charlotte and out of on the weekends. And we do have it out of JFK and Miami. But I think other destinations will be coming. But it really is a very sort of interesting island, and it's very much sort of barefoot elegance and really getting to kind of, you know, feel one with the people. This is one of our great servers there, and it's just a very, very special place. The chef is Michelin trained, so if you are a foodie, you like to travel and have wonderful food, you are never going to go wrong here at Baoase Luxury Resort. The food is fantastic. We have from 1 to 4 bedroom villas as well. So we do a lot of wonderful things. Now we're leaving Curacao, and we're going to go into the British Virgin Islands. And so the British Virgin Islands, I just got back from a week there, and I've got 2 properties in the British Virgin Islands. One is Guana Island. It's been around for quite a while. It's been a one owner for the past sort of 50 years. And what's very, very unique about it, there's lots of private islands in the BVIs, but none that are 850 acres that only cater to 35 guests. So if you have clients, if you are somebody who likes to hike and just be, you know, and explore nature, this is exactly what this is. That's what Guana Island is. It's a step back in time, but you still have all those sort of amenities that you're looking for in the rooms and in the restaurants. And I think it's a great line. It says, "Imagine the Caribbean before it went public." One of the very few private islands in this part of the world. There's no public bars. I mean, if people come in by boat, they are not allowed to come to our restaurant or to our bar. And as I say, we can only accommodate 35 guests. So on 850 acres. So, and we have 7 extraordinary beaches. This is the prettiest beach. It's actually the prettiest beach in all of the BVI. And it's called White Bay for
It's
obvious
very,
reasons.
it's very unspoiled.
Very unspoiled. I will tell you, Teresa, I read about this place for a long time. It's my kind of style. And so I read about it and they always say, oh, they want to keep it very, fit. They don't want anybody to know about it. They want to keep it very hush hush. And so, they don't want a representative in the United States. And so I was very sort of hands off. And then when they finally approached me actually, and I went there and I walked in and I cried because it's exactly what I thought it would be. It's unspoiled. They're not trying to be anything more than they are. They are just a wonderful respite from everything that's sort of becoming homogenous in so many islands.
And
They're
since
becoming
it's so remote, what's the best way to get there? You go from the USA to San Juan?
Well, no, actually what I did, I flew into San Juan and then San Juan over. And you don't need a lot, you don't need to be dressed up here because it's very casual. So it's bathing suits.
San Juan to where, Karen?
To Tortola.
Tortola, that's what I was thinking.
And because I was carry-on only, I didn't even have to change. I got off my flight in San Juan and I walked to my gate for the next flight. So it wasn't a big deal at all. But starting in June, we will have nonstop American Airlines out of Miami directly into Tortola. So it won't be small planes because not everybody likes small planes.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a big deal to have the service back, the flights into Tortola. So that starts in June. And then we're only an 8-minute boat ride over from Tortola. And it's really just kind of just a world unto itself. So, and as I said, they've tried to really retain the look and feel. So they've kept this sort of white stuccoed walls with all sorts of arches and the doors, but it's, it's air conditioned and we have luxury villas. In fact, when somebody was just booking one of the villas, this is a 3-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom here, Harbor Villa. And then this one is North Beach Villa. This is like what I call a real castaway. You go down this sandy path with, it's covered with palm trees and trees, and you get to the rough side of the island and you're at North Beach Cottage. So as far as dining on the island goes, it feels like you're at a house party because you come down for cocktails at 7 and everybody's having a cocktail and you chat. Hi, I'm Karen from Atlanta. I'm Teresa from Washington. If you like, they sit you with other people. So you can either be off on your own, but it's a very social place. So the last night I was there with a mom, dad, and 24-year-old son who lives in London, and a couple who had eloped to Tortola and me. And we had the best time. We didn't want to leave the restaurant. It was so much fun because everybody comes at things from different perspectives. So, but they too have an amazing organic garden. They really have a fantastic person in there. But if you like hiking, we've got 12 miles of hiking trails. We've got the amazing ocean, and we do a lot there. We do a lot of celebrations, the private island takeovers, and we have this flamingo. There's a lot of the flamingos fly from island to island, and they're the most unusual color because they eat the shrimp that's in the water, and that's why they're called rosacea, like rosacea for your skin. Rosacea flamingos. They're really bright red. They're not kind of pinky like how we know them. So, and that is Guana Island. So Guana Island's only 8 minutes away from Tortola. A little bit further away and a little bit further north in what they call the North Sound is Oil Nut Bay. Oil Nut Bay is the brainchild of an American developer. It's his 14th development, and it's all sort of villas and suites on the very tip of, in fact, this is all Oil Nut Bay here. It's 400 acres. And you have the wild side, and then you have the Caribbean side. So, and then all these islands here, you can pop to on their own ferry. So if you want to boat, if you like to island hop and go to different restaurants, it's so easy to do. You can just go over here to Sabre Rock. You can go over to Bitter End Yacht Club. There's so much you can do right from Oil Nut Bay. So it just gives you an idea. So you arrive, I always say, now, it's not everybody remembers this, but I think everybody on this call will, but it reminds me of Fantasy Island. The plane, boss, the plane. That's what it reminds me of. And then they're all on the dock and, like waiting for you. And it's really, but these are some of the villas, which you said you're not too much into the villas, but our suites are absolutely fantastic as well. Like this one is actually a 1-bedroom. This, I've stayed in it, is absolutely spectacular. So, and then we have our own beach club. We have tennis, pickleball, spa, gym. We have a lot of facilities here. And again, throughout the BVI, you're going to find a lot of hiking trails. But what I think is really cool about here is the boating aspect, being able to pop on a boat and go island hopping. So it's a little bit different from where Guana is, because Guana Island is just off Tortola. This is actually in the North Sound. You know, Mosquito Island's there, Necker Island, which you've probably heard of, is there as well. But the water and the temperate climate, it's not humid here. It is just an amazing temperature year round. And the BVI, there's nothing, I mean, they call it Billionaire's Belt. And
Can you go back, Karen, to the wellness?
Yes.
Because what pops in my head is the wellness. This would be a fabulous girls' getaway for spa, meditation, yoga, and just reconnect with your soul. And if it's not a girls' getaway, it would be a great place for a destination wedding, a more intimate destination wedding where families can rent villas for a destination wedding. So it's
Absolutely.
multiple use. Lots of people.
It is, and it's unusual on this part of the Caribbean, and because somebody I just spoke to said, you know, they were at Necker Island, and they said, you know, it's like $30,000 a night, for, you know, and the villas at Mosquito, which is also owned by Sir Richard Branson, is $30,000 a night. I mean, that's insanity. Who can do that? So you know, so we have suites that are $1,000, $1,500 a night that are just wonderful. They really are. But this is leaving. That's our arrival dock. That's why I say it does feel like Fantasy Island.
Yes,
so this just gives you this just gives you a kind of cross section. So you have villas all here. You know, you have on the other side. You also have suites over on that side. That's our main beach there. And we've got lots of water sports. And as I say, you know, you just pop. We have this one restaurant called Nova, and that's where everybody comes over. So it's kind of like in the BVI. Oh, on Sundays, everybody comes over to Nova for brunch, which is at Wilmette Bay. On Friday nights, everybody goes to Leverix, and you just boat over, and it's so casual, and flip flops and shorts, and it's, you know, but yet it's very, very high end. So now we're coming out of the BVI and going into Antigua, and in Antigua we represent two properties. One is Blue Waters, and it's very much more of a 4.5 star, because we're going to talk about Hermitage Bay in a minute, but it's more of a 4.5 star property. But it's great value. Teresa, I sell this all the time for value, because you can be all inclusive here for a week for $6,500 with tax and service included. And I love that it's actually only 10 minutes from the airport, if that.
And it's a great multi-gen place, like grandparents, parents, children.
Totally. Because what's so unusual about it is that we have our deluxe beachfront rooms. That's the ones you can do for about $6,500 for all inclusive for a week, all the way up to 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom villas. So that's what makes it so unusual. And also that's been in the same family for 50 years. So it's on 17 acres, but it's only 100 rooms. Because nowadays, if you had 17 acres to make it worth your while, you'd have to build so many more rooms to get the money back. So just to give you an idea. So they've done a lot of things. We even have an adult only pool. We have 3 beaches. We have 7 swimming pools. And we've done a lot of work in our rooms. I don't know if you've seen these rooms since then, Teresa, but they really are. This is our deluxe beachfront room. They are really super nice. And then the Cove Suites are the newer.
I sell a lot of the Cove Suites. Most people ask for the Cove Suites.
Yes, these are great. The Cove Suites are great because they are only 9 accommodations in each Cove building, and they all share one pool. And when you're in a Cove building, you also have your own concierge that comes with the Cove building. So, but you pay a little bit more than you do for a deluxe beachfront. So it depends what you're looking for. But then we have on the very top of the Cove buildings, we have the 3-bedroom Cove penthouses. And those are great for, as you were talking about, for like multi-gens, girlfriends, traveling together, because we have 2 masters in there. So we can actually split those beds and make 2 beds out of the king. So 2 singles, but really beautiful bathrooms. And then we have another bedroom that would be, has a full-size bed in it. So that'd be more for somebody, a single person. So 5 ladies traveling together would just love it. And then we get into the villas. We have the villa collection. And this just gives you an idea. This one is actually, they call it a celebration villa. but it's also called Rock Cottage, and it's got its own private dock, and it just feels like you're on a private island. So one of the things is, even though we're only 100 rooms, we do have several dining options. So we have 4 restaurants that are open and gives you a lot of activities. We've got a whole new gym. We have our own boat, and it just gives you an idea that you feel like you've got all the facilities of a large place, but the intimacy of a much smaller place. And we talked about the families, if you're ever traveling with families or doing a wedding. So, okay, I'm going to scoot through Trial Club because you said you're not that sort of keen on hearing about Trial Club, which is in Jamaica, just so you know, and it's a fully staffed villas. My biggest seller, Teresa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of family travel, although any families out there who like the photos, it's in Jamaica. You're welcome to call me on it, but
Yeah.
now Secret Bay right there.
That's you. That is you, right?
Yes.
And that is on the island of Dominica. And that's become easier to get to because we do have nonstop service already from Miami directly into Dominica every single day. So that before it was a bit more difficult to get into, but this is Secret Bay. It's managed by Dinesh Kasoon, who's such an amazing general manager. The food is spectacular, but Dominica is called the Adventure Island. So we have waterfalls and gorges and sparkling lakes, like where the bubbles come up out of the bed. Fantastic for diving if anybody's a big diver, but it is really such an adventure island for hiking and nature. And even when people from around the Caribbean come over to Dominica, because it's something about the way that the water flows that they get more whale sharks, and so they get to swim with the whale sharks, which is quite something. And the whole eco under the water is actually even better. So, but what really makes Secret Bay are these rooms, these accommodations. Each one of them has their own private attendant. If you're staying 3 nights, 14 nights, you have the same private attendant, so they don't have to relearn you. And every one of them has a private pool. So it is, and each one of them has their own organic garden. So when you have your attendant making you breakfast or a meal in your room, they go foraging in their own little garden, their own little organic garden to flavor your food. And it's really such a very, very special place. And the architecture of the property and the accommodations, it's all blue, Purple Heart wood. That's again local, and it's just really, really well done. So we've got a couple new things that are coming along. So this part here was all developed. That was the original Secret Bay. This is actually right down here where my little cursor is. That is Secret Bay down here. And then the bigger beach is actually the beach at Secret Bay, but there's going to be new villas coming here. You know, Teresa, they're going to be building much larger villas, and you see they're going to putting in, the marine, the pickleball court. So it's going to be quite something. The Zabucos are the
villas, 1 bedrooms. What's the largest villa?
They're going to have about a 4-bedroom villa on that side.
On the new side.
On the new side. This original side, 1 bedrooms. But what they've done now with them is that they've actually done it so that there's just a path between them. They call them the hillside tea phase. The Zabucos are, these are the favorites. They're just the most incredible ones. They're the ones that are closest to the water. But the Tifay and the hillside Tifay, they're like 2 stories. So they're great if you have people sharing, because you actually can have one person on the lower level and one person on the upper level. And again, the private pools. Ylang is our smallest, but again, I like that small because I think it's lovely to be nice and cozy and snug as a bug with the one that you love. So again, the private garden and the barbecue area and all of these again would come with a private attendant. Regardless of what accommodation you're in, you're going to have a private attendant. And this just gives you an example of the food. It's Relais Chateau, which is known for the 5 C's: cuisine, charm, comfort, character.
Places of personality.
Yep. So this gives you an idea of what it's all about. But they really do a lot of, you talk about people who want to like drop off the face of the earth and just want to kind of be one with, kind of get straight with themselves. That is very much what people do here. Over here in the top left is our spa. Over here, you see that they spear lionfish because they've become a menace to the sea. And I went lionfish spear hunting, and they cook it for you, and it's one of the most delicious fish. So
explain how you get down to the beach from the villa.
It's very much like Cap Maison. you actually just walk down. There's some steps, but the new ones, you actually take a little cart down to the beach. From the new hillside T face, you take a little cart down to the beach. They are going to be building a what's it called, like a zip line, funicular. They're going to be building that, so that will be finished in November of this year, which is really quite something. I mean, it is the hottest place right now in the Caribbean. And again, you can see we're talking about about the diving. The diving is really second to none. So, and because it's small, we can do buyouts. Again, if you have this like wedding that you want to do, or just, like girlfriends, like, let's just go take it over and like make it our own playground. It's very fun. So now we're going to move to my home, which is Bermuda. And in Bermuda, we represent the Reefs in Bermuda. So if anybody's been to Bermuda, because it was Washington area was a big, they went to Bermuda a lot. Probably in the 80s, 90s, well, 70s, 80s, 90s. And that was when the Reefs was just this. Then they built this, which is their residence. And so we actually have 2 of the residences in our inventory, which are 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, identical masters, which is lovely. We have people traveling together, 2 girls, 2 couples, everybody gets their own room. But the beach at the Reefs is probably the nicest beach you're going to see in Bermuda. That pink sand beach that everybody knows about. There are a lot of steps to get down to it, but the reward is this amazing beach and the color of this water. I mean, I've traveled all around the Caribbean, and I always say, not as pretty as Bermuda, not as pretty as Bermuda, not as pretty. There's a couple of places I've gone, Turks, Anguilla, that I do say, okay.
A Bermuda girl living in Atlanta.
Yeah. But they match, but and the Reefs is very casual. They've got the restaurant down on the beach. We do dinners right down on the beach, and we're again, it's very much, they like to think of themselves as a 4.5 star and be the best 4.5 star, and it's well priced all the time. The rates always include the meals, but that is what you get at the Reefs. So, and over here, can you see my cursor when I do this, Teresa?
Yes, I can see.
So over here is where the residences are. Okay. So we now have, 1 pool, we have 2 pools. So one with the residences and one with the rooms. So these are the rooms and these are the residences. So the residences, that's 1 bedroom over here. The other one's on the other side, identical masters, as I was saying, a fantastic spa. You've got good service still to Bermuda, I believe, from Washington, right? So, but this just gives you an idea of, that color of the water of the Reefs and Bermuda. And it's just so spectacular. Great walking if you want to walk. Now we're going to leave Bermuda and we're going to go into Aruba. And this property actually reminds me the most of the Reefs. It's small. It's 100 rooms, and it is an adult only property. There's no children under the age of 18, and they really do honor that. They don't say, oh, you're 17, come on in. No, they really are very much 18 and over. That's it. And they do the most amazing job. This, to me, I call this my nugget, because this, for the price, this is the best bang for your buck. You feel like $1 million when you're here. They take such good care of you. You're on the prettiest beach in Aruba, because it's Eagle Beach. So it's lovely.
The best real estate in all of Aruba, period, hands down. You will not find a beach like this anywhere in Aruba.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is. I just got to stay a night there, one night on my way back from Curacao the other day. And it's just, I mean, I said, can we get there before sunset? Please, can we get there before sunset? The sunset's there. That beach is phenomenal. It's all adults. It's so peaceful. And, they just do an amazing job. And so somebody just came to me today for 6 women traveling together. They do not take any groups over 4 people traveling together, because it does upset the sort of ambiance of the property. And so this just keeps it, by only having 4 people traveling together, it really keeps it very peaceful. And again, adults only. Their food is really very, very good. And they do a lot of wellness. They've really, actually it was before COVID, when what was the mosquito that was biting people?
Zika. Oh Lord.
Zika. So when Zika came, they were like, okay, well, we're not going to, we're not going to be able to focus on the honeymoon business because people were worried about Zika. And so that's when they pivoted, and they became very much known for wellness. And so they have their, wellness consultants. They do a lot with them. Every day there's a class on the property. So, and whether it's, you know, the Pilates or yoga or Tai Chi, it's all done. They keep it small classes. It's not like, you know, again, it's very, very intimate, very personalized. It's, I mean, I'm kind of crazy about the place. They do a fantastic vegan and again, the customized menus because there are only 100 rooms and they're very much hands-on, you know, and the rooms, they've redone the rooms over the last 3-4 years. So, you know, you've got, this is pretty consistent throughout, and it's always named as sort of TripAdvisor's, you know, top most, you know, most romantic. But the last time I stayed there, I stayed with a girlfriend, and she had never been to Aruba, and she was just blown away by how fantastic it was. So I'm just going to kind of take you through some pictures of Aruba, and kind of what they've done. This is the minimum room now, Teresa. So, you know, this room in the summer would be about $460 a night, including breakfast, including tax and service. So I don't care that I'm looking out over a garden, because all day I'm going to be on the beach, and I'm going to be looking at the beach all day. And when I have dinner, I'm going to be looking at it. So I don't really care that I'm looking at the garden, you know, because as I say, I'm going to see that beach all day, and I'd rather spend my money on all the fantastic restaurants around the property too.
It's known, it's got one of the famous restaurants on island. And for all of those people out there who really want all-inclusive, Aruba is best done not all-inclusive. There's over 220 restaurants on an island. Why would you eat every meal at a hotel when you've got 220 restaurants on island? If you want all-inclusive, go to a small, intimate island like Curacao or Grenada or Jamaica or St. Lucia, where it's known for all-inclusive. Aruba is known to go out to all the restaurants. You've got Argentina Steakhouse, you've got Italian restaurants, you've got Dutch restaurants, you've got Brazilian cuisine, you've got Tex-Mex. I mean, you've got anything and everything at your disposal. It's best done non-all-inclusive.
The other thing that I like about Aruba, because a lot of times taxis on islands are very, very expensive, and Aruba, it's not. $9, $10 to get, you know, to go out. It's very inexpensive to go out in Aruba with the taxis. They do take cash only. So that's something to know, but it's really fantastic. To just talk about that. See this wellness program, all their machines actually power the hotel. So they're very sustainable. It's really kind of cool how they do it. It's an amazing thing. They have a healthy hour every day and a happy hour every day. It's just very peaceful. And, you know, it's one of the islands that they've just allowed same-sex marriage, which I think is very progressive. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's very sort of romantic. If I may come out of this and see if I can share let's see how do I get back here. If I can share Hermitage Bay, yes, exactly. Let me get back here where I can share.
I'm just going to move out of the way because my background is the hillside pool suites at Hermitage Bay in Antigua. One of my favorite properties in the entire Caribbean. It's very small and intimate, 30 suites, all inclusive, almost adults only. They take ages 16 and up, but honestly, families with 16-year-olds choose not to go there usually because it's too quiet for a 16-year-old. So you will mainly find adults only, whether it be girls getaway or guys. I've sent people there that go on guys getaway and they'll do boating and yachting and fishing. Girls getaway, very quiet, boutique type of experience. Do you have a copy of it? And I will continue to speak about Hermitage because it's one of my favorites.
It is one of your favorites, Teresa.
Oh, there you go. One restaurant. It's so small and intimate, only one restaurant. But let me just say this. You will never see the same menu ever, ever. And if you're a creature of habit like me, and I eat the same salad over and over and over and over, they will make you the same salad if you want to skip the menu and like, oh, I want the salad. And if you go out fishing and you catch a fish, bring that fish back and the chef will make it for you for dinner. And you will only find that at very small boutique properties, not large resorts.
Very true. This is very true. Okay, so I'm going to show you now, and this is the beach. So that is a great walking beach as well. at Hermitage Bay. I think
Yeah.
that is a fantastic, oopsie, a great, I don't know why it's so fuzzy. Sorry about this. I don't know why it's so fuzzy. That's weird. Very strange. But this is a great walking beach. And again, this is adults only too. They take no children to the age of 14, which I think, you know, at our age, that's kind of nice, you know?
Yeah.
It's because it makes for a very peaceful environment. So, and this is the beach here. So it looks like it's larger, but it's actually only 30 cottages. So you've got some down on the beach, they're called beach fronts. So some are tucked back just back here. And then as you go up the hill, they all have private pools. So it is
And
actually also,
the higher up you go on the hill, the better your view and the more perspective of the sea and meets the ocean. And you have a lot more privacy up in the hillside pool suites because you've got a lot of flora around kind of protecting you against somebody else next door who cannot see into your cottage.
he said, when the owner said when he was building it, he would go and sit, you know, stand and make sure that nobody could see nor hear. And again, so I'm always focusing on which ones have the really great food. Hermitage Bay has its own organic garden. The food is fantastic. Everybody just, you know, goes mad for the food. These are the cottages that Teresa was talking about, the hillside pool suites. They really are beautiful. They're very, very private. Nobody can see onto your pool. Nobody can hear you. There's a little, you know, like a little gate that closes so that it should you want something, they knock on your gate to enter into your whole kind of hillside pool suite kind of setting. Everything is outdoor showers, so you know it's very one with nature. You have the tub inside, but if you want to shower, it is outside, and it's all bougainvillea draped behind lattice. It's very, very special, and it's really, you know, a place for couples, you know, girlfriends, to get away. You know, we have the spa, we have the gym, but very small, very understated. It's not going to have a full program. It's really for people who, again, don't want to be fussed with a lot of people. And the service is fantastic. It really is fantastic. And it's female managed. Did you know that, Teresa? Rachel's a manager.
Rachel,
So it's female
she's been a
managed, which is
manager
very
for
nice.
a long time.
She's been there since, almost, she was actually the second manager. So, and it's like a family there, the way that the staff is, the way that, well, because she's West Indian, she's created this feeling among the staff. And it just, they've got they're professional, but very warm and wonderful. And that just gives you an idea. That's 30 rooms, and that's her whole staff, but that's the beach there. And anybody who stays there, you know, your transfers are included, but there's, you know, because the food's so wonderful, drinks are so wonderful, what you pay is what you pay, unless you want some special cognac in the evening. And
this is an all-inclusive property.
yes.
And it should be all-inclusive because there's not a lot of great restaurants on Antigua. There are a few, I'll give you that, but this resort has been written up in Food and Wine and Wine Enthusiast magazine. It's really a foodie's place. Yeah,
the food is just fantastic here. And as I say, it's beautifully served and prepared and served. And the organic garden is tucked back over here, but you can even see where you are that, you know, the beachfront cottages, they're still tucked back too. You don't really see them at all. But that's the sort of overview of all the properties that you asked me to present, Teresa.
Yes.
And
you did a great job. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you for your interjections.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that?
nice to see you over Zoom. I haven't seen you in like 100 years. We go way back. We've known each other, I don't know, 25 years or so, but
it's okay.
yeah. Well, you're a newlywed. Congratulations on being a newlywed.
Thank you. He's 5 months old, my husband. So,
and he's originally from Virginia. He's
Yeah.
originally from our area.
Yes, he's from not Arlington.
McLean.
McLean. Yeah, he's from McLean. So yes, he is. So he's enough northern and enough southern, and he's a great blend. He's a fantastic man.
Married to an island girl. Well, if anyone
Yes.
has any questions, let me know in the chat box. And I'll just wait a second because it doesn't appear to have any questions. But you did a fabulous job, Karen. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, spending time. And if anyone is interested in any of these properties, I will put my email under the YouTube video, and I'm going to timestamp it from one resort to another, so you can jump from one resort to another and you don't have to watch the long video. But if anyone's interested, just reach out to me and I can answer any questions you may have. So anyway, thanks, Karen.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great rest of your day. And I hope to see you in one of my properties in not too distant future.
All right, good luck. All right, thanks,
Thank
Karen.
you. Talk to you
Bye,
soon.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.